From KPLC 7 News, this is a special report.
Good evening, I'm Erica Bivens. We interrupt your programming this evening as we continue to follow a developing story. Louisiana State Police Trooper Stephen Vincent was shot in the head late this afternoon during an altercation with a man after responding to a call of an erratic driver. The man is in custody while Trooper Vincent is being treated at Lake Charles Memorial Hospital. A news conference should be underway shortly at the hospital. Now, just some background on 43-year-old Trooper Vincent. He's actually a 13-year veteran of the state police force. Vincent actually comes from a law enforcement family. His brother Keith Vincent, meanwhile, is actually the chief of police in Iowa, and another brother is also a state trooper. Louisiana State Police Superintendent Colonel Mike Edmondson says they do have a suspect in custody. He's been named as 54-year-old Kevin Daigle. Again, that news conference is getting underway right now. We take you there live.
Here with Sheriff Tony Mancuso, who's not only the sheriff of Calcasieu Parish, but a very dear friend of mine. There's so much I want to talk about, and certainly I want to get to what happened at the scene sometime around 2 o'clock or 2:30 this afternoon. But I first want to talk about my trooper, Stephen Vincent. He's up on the 3rd floor right now, and he's fighting for his life. And when you think of what happened just a few short hours ago, it's not something he should be doing right now. Here's a good guy. His wife, Catherine, his son, Ethan, 9 years old. Here's a guy who loved to run. He ran marathons. He ran a marathon last night before he went to bed because he felt like it's something he wanted to do. He was a good, healthy guy. And as we're standing here, the doctors tell us his organs are in great shape. His heart is there, his lungs are there, they're all ready to work. But the gunshot wound to his head has messed up his neurological output. And simply, I guess as simply as I can put it, is his brain is just not telling the rest of his body what to do. So they're up there running tests. I got a chance to be next to him. I held his hand with his wife, and I just prayed. I didn't know what else to do, but I think that's what we need to do right now. Because here's a guy who gave his life 13 years with the Louisiana State Police. 13 years. I mean, here's a guy, 43 years old. Just a good person. It shouldn't happen like this. I went out to the scene. I saw the car. I'll tell you what did happen. Here was an individual that several people were calling in, said that it was suspected DWI. He was swerving all over the road in a pickup truck. Where here comes Stephen, and Stephen encounters him. He's in a ditch. He's run off into a ditch. He's kind of sideways. And I'm watching the tape, and I'm listening to my trooper who's sitting there. He's talking to the guy. He's telling him, "Why don't you get out? Let me help you. Come on out. I'll help you, and we'll call a wrecker to come get your truck, and then I'll give you a ride. I'll take you." Just trying to get him out of his truck. And I watched the tape a few minutes later. I watched as that truck door came open, and I saw a shotgun blast. This guy was carrying a sawed-off shotgun. Let me tell you something. That shotgun wasn't to do anything else but hurt somebody, kill somebody. That's what that was. And I watched that shotgun blast in that tape. I saw my trooper go backwards and then go back towards his unit where he was going to try to get some help out there. Then I watched that individual. I watched him. I watched Kevin Daigle walk from his pickup truck just wandering in the roadway and made it over to the trooper, talking to him, asking if he's alive. You could hear him breathing in there and tell him, "Boy, you're lucky. You're lucky. You're going to die soon." That's the words that came out of his mouth. Let me tell you, two to three. One stopped immediately, an incredible Good Samaritan, a civilian that was riding by. We watched him pass by on tape. He turned around and he encountered that individual. On his own, he encountered an individual carrying a shotgun. He wrestled away from him, and as he's there, some other people stopped. They got him on the ground, and they actually used my trooper, used his handcuffs, and handcuffed the guy. He's up there fighting for his life right now. I've asked people all across the good city of Lake Charles, the great parish of Calcasieu, across the state, and around this country to simply do one thing, and that's pray. His prayers, more than anything else, is what we need right now. Everything else is going to take care of themselves. I just left his wife a few minutes ago, and you know what she wants to hear? She wants to hear his voice. That's the word she wants to hear. We can tell her what happened. We can show it to her at some point. We just can't tell her why. And it saddens me to come to a situation like this for a good person, a good trooper, a good police officer. Thankful to Acadian Ambulance and the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office for getting there quickly with my troopers and getting him airlifted here to the hospital. I've talked to a team of wonderful doctors who are sitting there saying, you know what, we're going to do everything we can. We just need that brain to talk to the rest of his body and say, hey, wake up. That's what we're asking God to do tonight, to simply wake him up. As far as our individual, Kevin Daigle is 54 years old. He's known to police in this area. He's been stopped many times. 54 years old, numerous DWIs. We've turned him over to the Calcasieu Police Department, or will do at some point. I know they were getting him checked out. He's going to be charged with attempted first degree to murder of a police officer and several other charges that will coincide with that. Just a sad situation that when you stop and think about it, this is not supposed to happen. These are first responders, police officers that are simply doing their job. They're going to help somebody off the road that could have hurt somebody else. And what does he do? He hurts the person that's going to help him. What I'm going to do before we answer your questions, I've got Sheriff Mancuso. This is his area. He knows it. He knows the family. My trooper's brother is the chief of police of Iowa. His other brother is a state trooper. This family lives and breathes law enforcement, which means they're good people that just want to help people. Sheriff Mancuso.
Well, I want to say the same thing. You know, all of us, I see other law enforcement agencies here. We're all a family here. And, you know, as the Colonel said, our hearts are hurting right now, and it's tough. And as the troop commander said, we're going to still be out there tonight working for you. We don't have time to grieve because we're going to have to get out there and still patrol our streets and keep our neighborhood safe, and that's what we do for you every day. So as the Colonel said, I'm begging you and asking you to please pray tonight, not just for this gentleman, but all of your police officers around this world, in this state, in this country, in this city, because this is a tragic, this hurts all of us. This gets us right in the heart, and these people put their lives on the line every day in this community, and as the Colonel said, and we just want you to pray tonight for this trooper. We're going to do everything we can to put the bandages on and console each other, but right now we just need your prayers. So thank you.
Any questions I have? Anything you want to ask me? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You said that he has several DWIs and he has a criminal history. That seems like a big leap from DWIs to the type of attack he did on this police officer. Does he have other violent offenses on his record?
He's got several things, but you know, I didn't see the adjudicated process, so I don't want to go into those. But certainly he has other things that would certainly concern us. But here's the deal. Whether he has a driver's license or not, and he did have a driver's license, I'm not sure if it was valid or not, but you can't be around 24/7. He got in his car, in his truck, and he decided to drive. He had a shotgun, sawed-off shotgun, in his truck. You know, why pull it out? You know, it was buckshot. At least 2 to 3 pellets struck the trooper. I watched it. I saw it happen. And there's no rhyme or reason for that. I mean, this is a good community, a good area. A little rural area off of LA 14 that is near Bell City. My troopers are in that area all the time. So nothing right now that leads us to believe him to act in the way he is. I heard his words to my troopers. He was lying on that ground, unconscious, and I don't think I'll forget that for a while. But But let me tell you something. It's just important to me. We talked about him tonight. We talked about Trooper Stephen Vincent for what he stands for who he is, and what he does. I couldn't be any more proud of him because he conducted himself. I watched him talk to him, incredibly professional, and just trying to talk him out of the truck and tell him he's there to help him. Yes, sir.
Did he have a permit for the weapon?
Well, I don't think you could get a permit for a sawed-off shotgun, but there's no indication he had a permit or any type of concealed handgun permit that we're well aware of. No, sir.
And the two people who stopped to help?
I had a chance to talk to one on the phone just about 30 minutes ago, and I simply thanked him. His Jeep is still out there. A Jeep and another vehicle actually stopped to help him. They're still out there. It's an operable crime scene. We're shooting pictures, trying to make sure we get all the evidence and just put our story and put our case together, because that's going to be important as we move forward in this. Yes, they're still out there. I asked him, he said, look, I just saw a trooper lying on the ground. The right thing for me to do was to stop and help, and he did it. He did so at his own danger, but what I heard him talking and doing, I was pretty proud of him. That's not something you certainly, it's just the bottom line. You just don't always expect that out of people, because they just try to move away. And I don't blame them. I get that. I understand it. The guy's got a shotgun in his hand. But they stopped to help my trooper, and I'll never forget that, and I told him that. And I certainly look forward to seeing him the next day or so, and maybe even tonight and visiting with him. I think that's going to be important.
I'm sure they're mentally devastated by this, but did they have any physical injuries, the two people who helped?
No, not to my knowledge. They didn't have any, and it was a little off camera, but they were scuffling with him, but we could hear him talking to him, and they certainly seemed to be okay. Anything else? We're going to work the case through the night. The good news is this guy's off the road. He's certainly not going to hurt anybody else. The really sad vision of this, though, is my trooper's up there fighting for his life. And I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to be with his wife, I'm going to be with his family, and we're just going to sit there and pray. More than anything else, my trooper needs your prayers tonight. He's got a long, hard fight ahead of him. From what I know of him, and I know him, and for what I see of his family, and know what he's about, his vision for his future is not to die like this. So we're going to make sure we give him everything he can to make sure he doesn't. Yes, sir.
That video that you mentioned, would you all be releasing that?
I'm sure at some point we'll all get to watch it, but no, it won't be anytime soon. But we'll get some information out to you as we go forward. My thoughts and prayers.
Well, as we just heard from that news conference at Lake Charles Memorial Hospital, Trooper Vincent is currently fighting for his life. Colonel Mike Edmondson with Louisiana State Police, as you heard him speaking, says the gunshot wound to Vincent's head has caused severe neurological damage. Edmondson says Daigle is facing attempted murder of a police officer, among other charges. Vincent was responding to a possible DWI incident when that suspect, Kevin Daigle, reportedly shot Vincent with a sawed-off shotgun. Thanks to two Good Samaritans nearby, they were able to apprehend Daigle until other law enforcement could arrive on scene. Well, KPLC's Liz Coe is standing by from the scene near Bell City, where she joins us live.
Erica, we're entering about hour 7 into the investigation now. Investigators are still out here working to figure out the details of exactly what happened here today. Now, a few more tow trucks have made their way out here to Frugier Road near Bell City, but none of them have left with any vehicles in tow. Now, the vehicle left in the ditch by the driver, Kevin Daigle, is still there, stuck in the ditch. Now, investigators have been closely examining the vehicle for the past few hours now to find out any more details about the shooter or anything that could help in the investigation. The Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office and the Jeff Davis Sheriff's Office have all been out here to find out some more details about the shooting and those involved. Now, no information about the investigation has been released aside from the fact that Daigle will be charged with first-degree attempted murder of an officer. And tonight on Nightcast, we'll have more details about exactly what went down today. For now, at your service, live in East Calcasieu Parish, Liz Coe, KPLC 7 News.
Thanks, Liz. Again, Louisiana State Police Trooper Stephen Vincent, who was shot in the head late this afternoon during an altercation with a man, Kevin Daigle, is currently fighting for his life, as we just heard moments ago at a news conference from Lake Charles Memorial Hospital. That accused suspect, again, Kevin Daigle, is in custody. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 for Nightcast. For now, back to your regular programming.